Hey, guess what? Godzilla vs. King Kong is coming out soon, except you can see the original King Kong versus Godzilla, and which I saw as a kid. There was a rumor that there were two editions of this movie, where King Kong wins and one where Godzilla wins. It actually kind of ends in a stalemate, but I just love that this is out on Blu-ray, so you can see it in all its sort of man in a suit monster glory, which I love. Of course, King Kong Escapes. Not a lot of people remember this film. It's where King Kong actually fights a mechanized version of King Kong. It features a scene that shocked me when I was a kid, where the main villain of it, like he gets crushed and he's like oozing blood out of his mouth. I don't know. This is actually a personal favorite of mine. So I don't know. I just think that the mechanized King Kong was just kind of cool. Godzilla versus the Sea Monster is awesome because the actual human story behind it is actually entertaining. A lot of these monster movies, you'd kind of wait. It's like, here's the boring human story. Let's wait for the monsters. But the actual human story of this is kind of cool. With this, this island, with these military group and this sort of band of outsiders that land on the island, where the primitives are being taken advantage of there. It's kind of a cool film in the sense that it's also one of the few times in these early Toho monster movies where they actually mix the humans. You see the sea monster kind of like skewer people. So you didn't really see a lot of interaction between people and these monsters in these movies. And then, I don't know, one of my all-time favorites is Frankenstein Conquers the World, which was one of the times where you see like Frankenstein. So it's basically a guy in makeup, right? It's supposed to be Frankenstein is kind of cloned from a hand, right, of the original Frankenstein monster. And then they make a clone of Frankenstein, but it ends up growing really huge to monster size and fights a monster. Not a lot of people know that this movie is actually the prequel to War of the Gargantuas. War of the Gargantuas was actually then sort of the bits of Frankenstein that were left after the final battle. Two little cloned babies grew. So in Japan, this is actually considered War of the Gargantuas and Frankenstein Conquers the World are actually part of the same film series. So but War of the Gargantuas, when is that coming out on Blu-ray? I have actually subscribed to a list, not a joke, for like 7 years to get on a list. Like, you can sign up on Amazon and they notify you when something's available. I want War of the Gargantuas on Blu-ray. Give it to me.